What if I told you that confidence has nothing to do with being perfect, but everything to do with being prepared? I've spoken on TEDx twice, each time terrified out of my mind. I've been on all the major news channels, I've built a six-figure business, and I wrote this book. I'm just a small town girl who had a dream, so if you ever thought about how to stop overthinking, how to stay relaxed in a situation, or just build real confidence, that is what I'm going to cover in today's video. Because here's the truth, most people, they actually have it backwards. First off, confidence is what you do, not what you tell yourself to do. I always thought building confidence was about believing in yourself, telling yourself you're good enough. And although all of those things did help me, they didn't actually help me get on TEDx stage. They didn't help me build a six-figure business. They definitely did not help me write this best-selling book. They probably only helped me feel good for 5 minutes. But after that, all of my confidence, it went away. I honestly thought you needed to write down affirmations in your journal every single morning and repeat it over and over again. But that never actually worked for me, because true confidence, it comes from action. That is why you feel so freaking good every single time you accomplish something, even when you don't want to do it. And this is what most people miss. They're so focused on getting the result that they skip out on the actual building phase of the actual journey of becoming confident. I stopped people pleasing. When you are insecure, you will do everything to make other people happy except yourself, which is insane to me, but it actually made sense because I was raised to honestly just like keep the peace, make other people happy, not to shine too bright, not to be too loud, but all that did was basically bend my own values, bend my own rules, bend my own standards, and it never made me happy. It honestly made me more of a person that was in her shell. I remember so many instances, especially in previous relationships, where I never spoke up because I was afraid of conflict. I was afraid what my ex would have said to me. I was afraid of, oh, would he still like me if I dressed this way, if I said this thing? So I never brought anything up. I was so insecure that I allowed other people to walk over me, which was insane because they did not even know they were walking all over me. I just allowed them to. But true confidence is speaking your truth even when other people don't agree with you. Nowadays, I will only do things that are aligned with me. I will never, ever, ever do anything that isn't aligned with my values, with my beliefs, with my standards, even if that means feeling a little uncomfortable in the situation just because they don't agree with me. I rewrote the voice in my mind because let me tell you, every single time my mind was mean to me, it bullied me with negative thoughts, with fears, with limiting beliefs. I would bully it back because let me tell you, my inner dialogue, it used to be so savage to a point where every single time I tried something new, I wanted to do something new, I wanted to do something different, it would always say to me, you can't do that. Are you sure you want to try? Other people have done it better than you. It's just not for you, so might as well not even try. And honestly, so much more, but I quickly realized that voice in my mind, it wasn't true. It never is true. The only reason why that voice is in your mind is because it's trying to keep you safe. Every single time you try to do something new, your body, your mind, it wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you really comfortable because that is what our body, our mind is built to do, is to be in safety, to be in survival mode. However, we don't want to do that. We're always growing, we're always changing, we're always evolving. So when you want to be building your confidence, don't listen to that voice in your head that's mean to you. Listen to that voice in your head that's actually hyping you up every single day. Oh, and one more rule that I actually made for myself that honestly, it works so well is every single time a thought pops up in my head that's mean to me, that's rude to me, that is bullying me, I would always ask myself, is this something I would say to a friend? And 9 out of 10 times, honestly 10 out of 10 times, I would say no. I would never say this thing to my friend. Therefore, why would I say it to me? So that helped me honestly so much because I would never tell my friend that you're not good enough. Why even try? It's never going to work out. So why the hell was I saying it to myself? It honestly just didn't make sense. I allowed me to be enough. One thing that I realized after being insecure for so many years is I don't need to be more. I just need to be more of me. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you try to mimic, who you try to copy. The reason why they are effortlessly confident in their own way, in their own career, in their own physical appearance is because that is originally them. The minute that you try to change who you are at your core, that confidence, that like natural confidence, it goes away because you know that is not you. Plus, it's so crazy to me because nowadays people try to mimic celebrities, influencers. Like this girl, I forgot her name, but I'm gonna pop her up on the screen. She literally changed every single thing, every single item, every single like facial expression, hair, clothing, everything to match Ariana Grande. And I'm like, I just wonder who is she behind all of that. So that is the perfect example of not trying to be somebody else. Plus, the moment that I actually started to fully become myself, fully be myself, the world responded. I got so many more opportunities. I actually made so many more friends. I made I found the love of my life. Like so many things happened because I wasn't trying to fake being this person. I was actually me myself. I have never shared this with anybody, but I'm going to share it with you. I created a confident girl alter ego. Okay, I can't believe, honestly, I'm even sharing this right now because once again, nobody knows. But I named her Sierra. Now, Sierra, she is literally everything I want to be and more. She is honestly my dream girl. She is me, but in a whole different realm, okay? And any single time I feel insecure, I always ask myself, what would Sierra do in this moment? How would she think? How would she respond? How would she behave? What would she wear? How would she act? How would she walk? And let me tell you, there has been so many times I have gotten myself out of really bad, insecure situations by simply changing my alter ego into Sierra, because it really pulled me out of that fear and put me into power. And if you're familiar with Beyonce, she also has an alter ego, Sasha Fierce, and that is what she steps into every single time she records music, every single time she goes on stage. So I'm like, okay, if Beyonce does it and she's literally this icon in the music industry, I should do it too, because I am my own icon in my own life. So Sierra, she is honestly my lifesaver. She has helped me so many times and more. But I promise you, like, if you don't have an alter ego, especially in the beginning, it might feel a little funky, it might feel a little weird. You don't have to tell anybody about it, but I promise you it'll help so much when you feel insecure in those moments. I stopped asking for permission to be myself because let me tell you, this was the fastest way that I destroyed, honestly, my confidence by asking other people for their approval and for their permission. I would always ask other people, like, what to wear, what should I say, what should I post, and I would never take action until I got their approval. I would wait for them to say, oh yes, you should do that. Yes, you should wear that. Yes, you should post that. And then I would have the confidence to actually do it. But I quickly realized that would never, ever, ever give me my own confidence because I was always riding on other people's decision-making skills. I was always riding on other people's confidence. So in the journey of me building my confidence, I realized, why am I giving my own power away to others? That is literally not going to help me do anything. And I remember vividly this story. I honestly can't even believe I'm sharing this with you, but I will because I really want to help you. I remember one of my exes who I was madly in love with. I was trying to make it work so much. But one of my exes, in the midst of a fight, he told me, you do realize you are never going to get the approval that you're trying to search within me. You will never get that for yourself until you go find it within yourself. Like he said something like that, not that eloquently because he wasn't that eloquent, let's be real. But he said something along the lines of that to me, of I was trying to search of my approval within him. And in that moment, I was pissed off, okay? I did not realize this until probably, honestly, a year later. But he was right. It pains me to say this, but he was actually true. I was trying to search for my confidence, my approval in him, but I was never going to find it because your worthiness, it does not lie in the hands of somebody else. It lies in the hands of yourself. So in that moment, I realized nobody is going to give me the confidence that I need to actually be me. I had to give it to myself. And when I started to be that way, not even act that way, just be and live that way, oh my gosh, I started to feel so fearless in every single thing that I did. I practiced being seen even when it was uncomfortable. In college, I actually did a 10-day comfort zone / rejection challenge, where every single day I did something that scared honestly the shit out of me. Whether it was going up to somebody and like complimenting them, giving them flowers, or even like if you guys have heard of rejection therapy, it's basically going out and doing something knowing that person is going to say no. So I literally just thought about it. You can go to Starbucks and ask them, hey, can I make my own coffee? And most likely they're gonna say no because you don't. Okay, sorry. Okay, that was so uncalled for. A piece of hair was on my leg and I thought it was a spider. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? You can go to Starbucks and you can ask the worker to make, or you can ask the worker if you can make your own cup of coffee. But most likely they're going to say no because sanitary issues, blah, 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 you can't work there. But the act of you doing that is basically putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. You're doing something that you normally don't do. And when you get rejected, when a lot of people say no, you get insensitive. Like you're not sensitive anymore. You don't really care about what other people think. So I did that for 10 days and I started to put myself in situations that scared me so much. Like public speaking, raising my hand in class, even literally going up to strangers and complimenting them. And guess what happened? Every single time I did it, I was so afraid. I was scared. I was terrified. My voice was probably shaking. But each time I survived and each time I got stronger as I did it. So I really love to say confidence is honestly not something that is built in private, something that's built in public. So if you can do certain things to really put yourself out there, you're going to just become confident naturally, because it's not something that you are doing just in your room. So this actually goes hand in hand with what I said earlier about you don't need to ask for anybody's permission to be yourself. I made it a rule where compliments, they are just a bonus. It is not a need anymore, because I found myself always searching for compliments with my exes, in relationships, even with my friends. Like every single time I would go out, I'd send a picture of my clothes and my outfit, like, what should I wear? Does this look good? Do I look cute? Like, are people gonna like me? I always was searching for this outside of me, but I could never give it to myself. So remember that mean voice in your head that would bully you into not doing certain things? I created a new voice in my head, a voice that actually hyped me up every single time I wanted to feel my best and every time I wanted to look my best. So I created that inner hype up voice for me. I would give myself own compliments. I'd be, oh my gosh, you look cute in that cute pink frilly top in your white skirt. Oh my gosh, your hair looks so good. Your makeup is amazing. And I would hype myself up. I did not need anybody to give me any compliments anymore. So every single time now Andy gives me a compliment, somebody else gives me a compliment, I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's kind of just like a cherry on top. I don't need it, but it feels good. So if you're somebody who always needs compliments, it's okay to give yourself compliments. It's still okay to get compliments from other people, but you don't need to rely on other people for you to feel good. I moved my body like I loved it. I danced in college for 4 years. I did hip hop dance. And I want to say that was the season where I really connected with my true inner confidence. When you can freely dance, when you can freely move your body around, you just feel like confident. You feel energized. You feel like you're actually physically in your human being. Because a lot of the times when we're insecure, we're kind of like this, like our head's down, like our shoulders are really tense. They're kind of being shrugged down like this. And there is no movement going on. There is no fluidity going on. So if you actually want to feel confident, like stand up tall, raise your voice, move your mouth like this, like get crazy with it, get wild. You want to move your body. That's why for me, every single morning, and you guys know my morning routine, every single morning, I will go on a walk, I will work out, I will dance, I will do Pilates, because movement creates confidence and it creates energy. So if that's something that you don't already do, or maybe you are about to go on a date or you're about to do a presentation, go on a walk, move your body, dance it out, because sometimes that insecurity that anxiety and tension, it stays in your body, and that's when you're like this, and you can feel it, like you can feel the tensity in your body, so you want to relax. Because remember, although confidence starts in your mind, it transmutes in your body. So over time, as you move your body around, your mind is also going to catch up. I cleaned up my circle. When I was 20 years old, I met my first mentor in university who was an entrepreneur, and he was the one, honestly, that exposed me into this entire world of entrepreneurship, personal development, and growth. And I started to get around people who honestly were just life years ahead of me. They were always changing their mindset. They were always growing. They were so ambitious and so driven. And that's what really allowed me to do that for myself. When you're around people that may, like, honestly, I don't even want to say it this way. I don't want to say people that are just average, but people that don't really value being driven, being ambitious, always growing yourself, always pushing yourself to see what more that you can do, you're also not going to do that. So when I was in college, when I was younger, even when I was in high school, I would always be around, like I would have a friend group where they're always insecure. Like they always talked about boys. They always seek their validation in other people. So of course I also felt that way, right? Like it's not rocket science to know that if you hang around people that don't have high self-esteem, you're also going to feel that way. So when I cleaned up my circle, when I got around these entrepreneurs, when I started to actually do and be more, I saw such a big change in my life. Plus, not to say over time this happened to me too. Some of the friends that I used to have, they started to dim my light because I started to outshine them, even when I wasn't bragging. But it gets to a point where when you start to increase your confidence, people around you, they're going to feel very uncomfortable. And that's normal, because if people are like baseline over here, but you're not baseline, okay? You're not baseline. You're going to start going like this. They're going to want to pull you down. So any single time you feel like you can't be yourself around people, if you feel like you're being too much, that is your cue to honestly like leave that friendship, or just don't hang around with them as much anymore, because they're actually deteriorating your confidence instead of building it up. I dress confidently because when you look good, you feel good. This is something I have been doing honestly since probably the day I was born, because I love to dress up. I love fashion, and every single time I put clothes on my body that make me feel good, I always perform better. I always speak better. I'm much more charismatic. So this is something I actually realized when I was in high school. This was like high school, college. Every single time I would take a test, I would notice everybody else, they were kind of like a slob, okay? They would show up in like sweatpants. They would show up with their hair a mess, no makeup on. So I did the opposite. I'm like, okay, I want to perform really good. But if I dress like that, I know I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel too comfortable. I'm not going to feel like I am performing at my best. So what I did was I actually would put on a full face of makeup. I would do my hair. I would put on a cute outfit like this, and then I would go take my test. And I kid you not, every single time I did it, I actually performed so much better because I felt really, really good. So you guys have probably heard of this before, like dress more confidently and you are going to perform better. This is the same thing when it comes to confidence in any single situation, in any single scenario. But the other thing I realized about me was I would sometimes only dress up for other people. If I was going on a date, I would dress up. If I was going to someone's birthday party, I'd dress up. If I was going to an event, I'd dress up. But now I dress up for me. If I want to sit at home on my couch, I'm gonna put on a cute outfit. If I just want to go out to lunch or go to the grocery store, I'm gonna put on a cute outfit. I don't want to wait for a special occasion anymore. I don't want to save my clothes for like a better day. Of course, sometimes I'll do it, but there has been so many times I would only dress up for other people, but that never helped me with my confidence. So now I do it for myself, and it's 10 times better because I always feel confident because I always feel good. I want you to realize that confidence is actually not something that is done overnight. It's actually built. Like you actually have to work on it. And I wish I knew this a lot earlier because I probably would have built that confidence a lot sooner. But now since I know, I'm sharing it with you. So share this video with somebody that you know is already really confident, but they want to become even more confident. And don't forget to subscribe because my channel is all about helping females become their best self, become a version of them that they are so proud about, they are so happy about, and every single day they're growing to become the best versions of them. So I love you so much. Until next episode, make sure that you stay unforgettable.